Hi, thank you for stopping by. I'm Cher, the Shadow Walker. Today I'm taking an in-depth look between March 6th and 7th, 2026 on Bigfoot and Sasquatch in Canada. There's been an uptick. It's under a waning gibbous moon in British Columbia. Bigfoot reports Pitt Lake and Grant Narrows. The occurrence. On March 6th, hikers reported heavy bipedal footsteps and rhythmic wood knocks near Wigton Creek trailhead. The activity was preceded by an Oz effects, a sudden, absolute silence of the birds and the insects. Witnesses. There was 3 of them, and they reported it to the backcountry hikers. So that's logged with the BC Scientific Cryptozoology Club. Harrison Lake occurrences. Early morning this morning. Residents report high volume chest vibration howls coming from dense timber. This lasted approximately 10 minutes before moving deeper into the mountains. Multiple households, approximately 5 to 7 individuals, heard this. Local community sighting boards and independent researchers were notified. Dogman and the Skeena Valley, Highway 16. Hope I'm not saying that wrong. The occurrence, March 7th at 2 a.m. in the morning, so this morning, a commercial trucker, reported a large gray-furred canine standing bipedally on the road shoulder. It stood roughly 7 feet tall and had amber glowing eyes that tracked the vehicle as it passed. So it was one professional driver that seen it, and he reported it to the highway maintenance crew as a large hazardous predator. In the Silverton area, the Slogan Valley, occurrence March 7th. In the early morning hours, a resident reported an auditory cry mimicking a dog whimpering at the back door. Upon inspection, no animal was present, but a 4-toed digital grade track was found in the mud later on when the sun came up. One resident witnessed it, and the sighting is in a private database. Hellhounds and Shadow Walkers, Victoria. In the Baston Square, March 6th, late evening security staff reported a visual folding of the air and a large, silent black canine silhouette moving through the corridor near the old gallows site. It was witnessed by 2 security personnel people, and it was logged on their internal logs. Stave Falls, Mission, occurrence, March 7th at 4 a.m. in the morning. Fishers report dead dog barking phenomena. Sounds of a distressed canine that seemed to move through the air / canopy rather than on the ground. 2 fisher anglers, witnessed that, and it was reported to the paranormal interest group in the area. Skinwalkers and spider humanoids in Merritt. Thompson in the Nicola region, occurrence, March 6th. A rancher family reported a deer with unnatural facial proportions, human-like movement. The animal reportedly stood on its hind legs for several seconds before fleeing. 4 family members witnessed this, and they reported it to the local community elders. Cranbrook, downtown historical sector. The occurrence, March 7th. A resident reported a multi-jointed pale figure moving vertically upward on a wall of an abandoned building into a crawl space. One resident, and they reported it to the local watch. So that's in British Columbia. So on March 6th in Alberta, a Bigfoot was sighted in the Nordic region. 2 researchers reported it to an independent database. and it was an 8-foot bipedal observed near the rock face, maintained eye contact before vanishing into a blind spot. So on March 7th at 1:15 a.m., Banff area, the Spray Valley and Smith Doran Trail, one driver reported a Sasquatch, large dark mass crossed the trail. Witness noted heavy musky odor and timber snapping sounds. March 7th at 11:50 p.m. At March 6th at 11:50 p.m., Clearwater County on private land, 3 people in one family had a BFRO sighting, so a Bigfoot sighting. Group heard bipedal pacing outside the cabin, 17-inch tracks found in the frost as soon as the sunlight came up on the 7th. So, just pause that. Now we're taking a look at the Dogmans in Alberta. March 6th at 11:45 p.m. at night in the Drumheller Horse Thief Canyon area, 2 people that were camping there, they observed a gray-furred 7-foot canine on the canyon rim with amber eyes. They said that it had a jerky movement to it. On March 7th at 2 a.m. in the morning in the Cochrane area, Highway 1A, one driver reported a wolf-like head seen at the passenger's window height while driving 80 kilometers, and it kept pace for 10 seconds. That would be a little freaky. Also, March 7th, 3:45 a.m. in the morning, Lethbridge area, the Old Man River Valley. 2 night shift workers, and they reported it to a local paranormal group. They saw a large black canine with internal red glow, made no sound on the gravel while moving towards the bridge. And on March 6th at 9 p.m., Medicine Hat area, one resident noticed or heard human whistling, saw a large pointed ear shadow that vanished instantly. So they said that was a dog man, and they reported it to the local sightings board. Now, skinwalkers and spider humanoids, I've classed them together. I don't consider them together, but I've lumped them together for sightings. So on March 6th at 10 p.m. at night in the Fort Macleod area, a trucker, a coyote with human-like legs and backward joints followed the truck for 3 kilometers, moved with a fluid and boneless movement. This is what the man said, the trucker. He reported it to tribal elders. March 7th at 1 a.m. or 1:45 a.m. in the morning in the Edmonton area, the River Valley area, a cyclist reported it to the community watch, and he saw a multi-limb shadow moving vertically up the bridge pillars. Speed was described as inhuman. And in the St. Paul's area, there was a UFO landing pad area at 10:30 on March 6th. 3 tourists reported it to the St. Paul's Visitor Center. They said they saw a shimmering, semi-transparent glitch in the air that moved like a quadruped. And that is the entire area of Alberta. Going to move on. In the Prince Albert area of Saskatchewan, on March 6th at 11:10 p.m., so the Prince Albert National Park, Narrow Roads area, 2 witnesses reported a heavy rhythmic bipedal run parallel to their vehicle. Witnesses described a feeling of crushing mental pressure, and it was reported to an independent researcher. On March 7th at 3:30 a.m. in the morning, Frontenac, du Lac, the northern Saskatchewan area, one person, they reported it to the local community, and they saw a large, heavy figure seen near the trees. 18-inch footprints were documented in the crusty snow in the following morning. Bigfoot sighting, that is. So on March 6th at 10:45 p.m. in the Cypress Hills Dark Sky Preserve area, 3 people witnessed. Group observed a massive silhouette moving between pines. The figure appeared to absorb the 80% of moonlight, appearing as pitch black void, and they've reported it to the park security. Now, as far as Dogman or Rougarous, whichever you prefer to call them, on March 6th at 10:45 p.m. in the Craven Appel Valley area, one witness reported a wolf-like head figure observed crouched on the hillside. Then it stood bipedally and scaled the valley wall with unnatural speed, and they reported it to the sighting database. Also, on March 7th at 1:20 a.m. in the morning, St. Louis, the ghost train tracks, 2 witnesses. They reported to the local enthusiast club there. Large digitigrated canine figures crossed the rail bed, coincided with a pulsing red flare of the St. Louis lights. So that's a dogman illuminating the tracks. And also March 6th at 11:15 p.m., Batoche National Historic Site, one person reported this to a private record that they had an auditory mimicking event. Witnesses heard horses whinnied, followed by a 7-foot canine retreating towards the South Saskatchewan River. Now, for skinwalkers and hellhounds, on March 6th at midnight in the Shellbrook, a UFO Valley area, that's what they call it, 2 witnesses reported a skinwalker. They said that it was a distorted deer standing on its hind legs to peer into the window. It moved with fluid, boneless gait, and they reported it to the private tribal elders. On March 7th at 2 a.m. in Estevan Boundary Dam area, one person, he was a night shift security guard, so he logged it, a hellhound, a large black dog with smoke-like fur near the water, left no physical prints in the silt, and the ozone smelt funny. At March 6th at 9:30 p.m. in the Moose Jaw, the Valley Tunnel / area, 2 people, and they reported it to the social media watch group, reported that shadow detached from the walls and moved independently of a light source. In Manitoba, on March 6th at 10:30 p.m. in the Falcon Lake area, Precambia Shield area, that's what that is, 3 security staff witnesses, and they reported it to the park authorities, a large bipedal shadow moving through the bush near the 1967 ancient site, reported heavy wood knocks and 3 distinctive sets of them. Then, March 6th at 11 p.m. at night, Norway House, the Nelsons River area, 2 local residents reported this to the community sightings. A large, heavy, hairy figure was seen on the riverbank under 84% moonlight. It appeared to be wading in the water and searching for something through the ice cracks. And March 7th at 2 a.m. in the morning, White Shell Provincial Park, there was one camper, private researcher logged this. A massive silhouette stood outside a tent. Witnesses report a sulfur-like smell and a feeling of intense dread. Next, we're looking at the Manitoba Dogman. On March 6th at 11:15 p.m. in the interior lake region, one driver reported, and he reported it to the RCMP as a wolf hazard. A 7-foot canine figure with shaggy mane was seen standing upright on the roadside shoulder, and it had golden eyes. On March 7th at 1 a.m. in the morning, St. Anne at the Boreal Edge, 2 night shift workers, they reported it to a local watch group. The 2 witnesses reported a wolf-headed man moving through a farm field with mechanically jerky loping gait. March 6th at 9:10 at night in the Grand Beach South Basin area, one resident reported to private database an auditorio mimicking cry. A witness heard a familiar voice calling from the dunes. When they looked, they saw a large canine shadow retreat. Skinwalkers and Hellhounds, March 6th, 9:30 p.m., Lake Manitoba near the Narrows. 2 fishermen, or fisher people, I should say, they reported it to local elders, reported that a coyote that appeared to stretch its limbs and walk bipedally for several meters before disappearing into the cattails, or bulrush, whichever you prefer to call it. March 7th at 3 a.m. in the morning, Winnipeg, Red River, Fort Garry area, security guard, and he logged this internally, a hellhound sighting, a silent jet black canine with illuminated red eyes seen near the frozen riverbank, and it left no tracks on the frost. Spider humanoids in Manitoba. March 7th, 12:20 a.m. at night. March 6th at 12:20 a.m. 12:20 p.m. I should say. We'll do that again. March 7th at 1 o'clock in the morning, because they keep flipping the hours on me. It was in the Brandon area of the Assiniboine River. God, I'm loving this morning. It was one person who was a late night walker, and he reported it to the Community Sightings Board. He reported a multi-joint paled figure moving with extreme speed up the side of a concrete bridge. And if you'll note, if you take a look at my other one on strange and weirds that I put out today, you'll note all the animal mutilations and my correlation between spider humanoids and them. So if you'd like to take a look at that one, it's kind of interesting.